There's a lot of things I'm trying to do. So okay. Everyone, I know it's 10:30. We're about to start the show. I got a little bit of business to do because it's I haven't been. I've been trying to reach Geekonius all day. Just give me a minute. So Geekonius, check it out. So you know the Steam sale is right around the corner, right? Steam Winter Sale is about to start any minute, right?
Uh-huh.
Usually Steam Winter Sale starts sometime in December. So check it out. So I'm trying to make sure I can get some really cool games. Granted, I have everything I want. So check it out. I got some circuit boards, right? How many bottle caps you gonna hook me up with? I got circuit boards, right? Like, I'll take like 15 bottle caps of circuit board, right? Like look, I got clipboards, right? So we got clipboards, you got the spring, you got cardboard that breaks down. Yo, I got some purified water, right? That's like at least 15 bottle caps right there, right?
You got any Nuka-Cola?
So, no, man, I'm all out of Nuka-Cola, dude. But yo, I got them screws, yo. I got them screws.
Whoa, I need some screws.
Yo,
I need some wood.
Yo,
some wood
look, 600 bottle caps or nothing. I can't look at this, man. You know how many weapons you can put together with all these screws?
I can't do 600. Can we bring in? How about 50?
50 bottle caps for these screws? Are you serious, man? Look how many screws.
Dude, I'm level 24. I can make my own screws.
Man, no. But see, this is the quick shipment of screws. You know what I'm saying? This is the quick ship screws.
Okay.
Right?
I'll tell you what. You give me that bag of screws, and I'll hook you up with a shipment of cement.
Dude, I don't need no cement. I got cinder blocks out back. I'm good. But yo, man, I got that pot, right? I got that pot. Stainless steel. Okay, it's probably Chinese steel. Yo, straight up stainless steel, man. Everybody needs this steel. How you gonna smith without your steel? You know what I'm saying? Yo, you gotta get at your boy, man.
I got some paper and.
Man, I'm trying to deal your paper, dude. I got antifreeze. I got antifreeze. Look at it right here. I got antifreeze.
Plastic bottle.
Plastic.
I got a plastic bottle.
Yeah, but I got acid and plastic. Look right here. Glass. This is two glass right here. 2 glass. Yo, 50 bottle. You know what? For you, because you
tweezers. I got tweezers. You want some tweezers?
Man, that's barely one steel. This is 4 glass.
It's made of aluminum. This is aluminum.
Dude, we are not gonna make it in the post-apocalyptic world if we can't come to agreement on some bottle caps here. I'm just trying to say.
We do have a samurai on the show.
Yeah, and that sword's worth at least 300 bottle caps. So when he sleep.
But I don't have any. But I'm low on bottle caps.
Well, how is a sword?
I've been spending my money on armor.
Dude, I got pins. I've been saving up these pins, man. I got these pins right here.
I only got one. I got one pin.
All right, look. I tell you what. Look, after the show, let's get up. Like, let's do some bartering. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna warn you. I got them grape joints, so I'm gonna get plus 10%. You gonna get minus 10%. So.
Well, I got a bunch of Nuka-Cola, so as long as you got some Radaway.
Dude, I got a toolbox full of. I got 4 Nuka-Cola Quantums. I'm good. I don't need no Nuka-Colas.
What you got on those stim packs though?
Dude, I got like 56 stim packs. I'm rolling in stim packs. Plus, I got 2 bud packs sitting in the toolbox back at the place.
But I got 510 millimeter ammo.
510 meter. Okay, that I don't have. And I need some 10 millimeter ammo. All right, so yo, get up with me after the show. We can talk some more Fallout, and we used to make a deal because Steam Summer Sale. You think Steam will set bottle caps this year? I need Steam to set bottle caps.
I doubt it.
Damn. All right, fine. All right, so we'll work this out after the show. Sorry, everybody. We had to work out some business here. This Fallout thing's real, so I'm trying to make sure I get my bottle cap straight.
It's real out there.
It's real out there in them streets with them super mutants. It's real. I'm just saying it's real. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks and geekettes, my intergalactic travelers from hither and yon, welcome to another amazing episode of the Black Geeks Podcast. I am your ever effervescent host, although I am more effervescent with a little bit of jet, but that's another story for another time. And I am pleased to welcome you to the show, and I will introduce my amazing cast of geeks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Potbelly Samurai hanging out over there. What's going on, man?
Yo, I got jet lag.
Yo, you need one of those. Well, what is that? Yeah, you need one of those cure-alls. Those cure-alls, the ones that take care of jet.
Break
Oh,
you
oh
mean
no, he has
Natasha?
jet lag. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I
That's
thought-
different. I
mean
thought he had jet addiction. My
you
bad.
know,
That's different.
the cure-all. I mean, is her name Natasha? I'll take one of those.
Oh, right. We're off to a great start. Let's go.
I'm just saying, you talking cure-alls.
Oh, have mercy. Anyway, moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, move my mic just a little bit. There we go. And I do have, and that over there, my partner in crime, that is the Sith Lord. That is Darth Econius. Hello, Darth Econius, waving hi at the people, please.
Hello, everyone.
Yo, I'm actually glad y'all explained that was like y'all was talking about Fallout, because I spent the last couple of minutes just like, yo, what the hell are they rambling about?
Don't worry about it. Those who are in the geek world, there's been nothing else going on. No one is playing anything. Everybody's playing Dota and Fallout. Actually in Rocket League. Rocket League is dude, you gotta get up on that Rocket League. I've been playing with my boy Bingu. Yo, I had anyway. I'm not gonna start. Anyway, Rocket League's a joy. I love that game. It's basically soccer with cars and turbo boosters. No, I mean seriously, it's soccer played in cars with turbo boost. It is the most fun thing in the world, man. I swear, it's so much fun. I love that thing. I love that game. Anyway. So yeah, I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, on the show today, we're going to be talking about a number of different things. There's been so much going on in the news. There's been so much going on in television land, man. It's been so much going on in television land.
You mean besides crazy ass Donald Trump?
Yeah. let me hit that joint, that foghorn leghorn joint. Yes. I'm looking for a man.
That's the type of stuff that make you just wanna.
Sorry, dude. Hey, look, I'm a child.
Makes me wanna holler. You just wanna get up out of here.
Child of Barry Melodies, man. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the shows that are out there. I think we'll try to avoid Supergirl for this episode. We'll have to wait for Dark Phoenix to come back and touch Supergirl. No, we probably have to talk about it.
No, she's already said she's not gonna talk about it.
Alrighty then.
No, I parlayed with her. She's
okay.
too busy to watch that type of stuff.
That's a damn lie. She just don't want to be critical of a female lead show. That's what.
That ain't it. I'm avoiding saying what she actually said.
Yeah, you should.
You might as well say it. I mean, tell
say
people
it. Don't say
people want to know.
Don't say it.
I want to know how.
Define that. That's offline. We can do that offline.
Something about the leads in these shows.
Oh,
rubbing her the wrong way.
Oh,
especially considering that they didn't do like a live action Vixen. But so you put two and two because there's feminism, and then there's
Okay. Yeah. Let's just... Hold on. Did he just do the wink of the gun? Did he just do that?
Wink,
feeling kind of Carldish, like it's so unusual to be loved.
Okay, how about this? I'll read one of her tweets from November 18th.
Okay, that's fair because that's technically in the.
Yes, in the public domain. This is what she tweeted on the 18th to give you an idea of why she's not watching Supergirl. And I quote. The idea of white as the norm or default has to be so embedded in a person to not even notice when they totally exclude people of color.
Yeah. Okay.
So moving right along.
Here we go.
I don't think there's gonna be any arguments about that in light of the gods of Egypt crap.
Dude, that's not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please. Dude, it took me days.
But did you see the Hollywood Reporter right after that, in the midst of that Twitter drama?
Yeah.
Did an issue
THR.
about women in Hollywood, and the whole cover was white women. And then Challenge was like, black actresses, and then somebody posted a picture of like Viola Davis and several other people with Emmys. Like there's people on this cover that don't even have Emmys, but you couldn't find one black Kerry Washington or Viola Davis, who got like some of the biggest shows on TV right now.
Right.
But I digress.
Yeah.
So that was the context of her tweet. So she's just kind of like, she don't have it in her to deal with these shows that, though they've pushed the bar a little further, it's almost like when women got the right to vote, it still was like another 40 some odd years before. So there's always a certain group that'll get it first before.
I was about to say, because if we want to look at it like legally, black folks ain't gonna get the right to vote to 64.
Yeah, well, and they're in,
Yeah.
Well, maybe, not the right to vote, but to be able to vote
without getting murdered.
Yeah, exactly.
Hung from trees like strange fruit. Yeah, that was 1964.
Yeah. Prior to that, it was always an adventure. Putting it mildly.
that's why I'm laughing. If you call the potential for getting shot, chased, and hunted by dogs and hung from trees an adventure, you're right. It's Tomb Raider.
It's more than Tomb Raider. It's like The Walking Dead with a mix of Fallout and the Book of Eli. Wow. But and I know we shouldn't have went down this path, but it does go to show you why it's just that much more disgusting when people are like, I ain't voting, ain't nothing gonna change anyway.
Yo,
you know how many
now vote, we gonna get Trump.
Pretty much.
That crap. I tell people all the time. I say, look, we are in a situation where the top two candidates in the Republican Party are Donald Trump and Ben Carson.
Yeah, exactly.
And a distant third, Jeb Bush.
Right.
And he's the one that's making sense.
and when you think about that, it's like, number one,
that should scare you to death.
Is that the best you have to offer? And number two, you mean that people actually want to vote for them? And so it's like no matter which way you look at it, it's very scary. It's very scary either way.
In the Republicans' defense, that is not the best they have to offer.
Yo,
that is who their base is. Trump is. I was gonna say trumping up, but I mean, they have John Kasich from Ohio,
which he's not bad.
Which is a good choice, actually.
Yeah.
If they had any brains, even chicken hawk war crazy Lindsey Graham is a good choice. If you can get past the fact that he want to blow up everything, outside of that, he makes perfect sense. And Rand Paul, sometimes he gives us images of his father, but then he slides into crazy.
Yeah.
So they do have choices.
Yes, it's just the base is gonna put the lesser, the greater of the evils in, other than the lesser.
Politics is funny though, because the Democratic base, they don't do the same somehow. We still get the corporate person as the head honcho.
Yeah. So I would be remiss if I didn't take this slight opportunity to go just far left militant. And I'm just gonna say
Cynthia McKinney ain't running, okay?
Dang it! I called her last week and asked her to. No. I just always say around this time, it just irritates me to no end when you think about it. And I put it like this I think you saw I did a Periscope about it. Mm-hmm. If you were alive and you were an adult or you were a young person in the 1940s and 50s, and you were out there marching for miles, you were standing up against police brutality, you were getting bitten by dogs and sprayed by hoses, and somebody, a young person, let's say 20-year-old, comes back from the future, hey, I just stopped by to say hello, and say, hey, are you voting? You say, no, I'm not voting, I'm not into that. You think about it, what if that was you? I mean, somebody went through a whole hell of a lot just for your right to vote, and now you saying, oh, we're not going to vote because the system's broken? Shoot, I'm voting because someone else did something extraordinary to get me that right, and I'm not going to disrespect, their sacrifice, regardless of the system that's in place.
And the irony is the system is broken because we don't vote.
Right. Right. Yeah, right.
The single most powerful thing every citizen has is that vote.
Because the corporations can give all the money in the world they want. but it comes down to who actually votes.
One man, one vote.
How much money? How many candidates raise $1 gazillion for it to mean nothing in the end?
Right.
You know how much money they were raised against Obama, and he didn't just win both times. He won by like damn near 60 electoral votes. It wasn't even close, And I don't know, my people.
Yeah.
Then again, you still, I just had it out with a relative today because they were all amped about Black Friday, and I was like, why?
Why are you bringing up all my? Why are you bringing up all
I know. Let's get
in the last 7 minutes. You brought up like my favorite rants of the week. And I'm like, dang it. Okay, let's start the show, you counties.
Let's talk about Apple. That always makes me happy.
Because man, you take me down this path again, I'm gonna start coming out of clothes. Let's not go there.
Well, we don't want you coming out of clothes.
I got my fan.
But we do want you coming to the dark side. So
I got my fan. I'm good to go. And by the way, this fan is not for sale for any type of bottle caps. I'm just
but there's a lot of plastic and screws and maybe some nuclear material in there.
Never. I don't know what yet. For me, it
definitely some gears.
Gears. There's copper. There's copper.
There's definitely copper.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can I intro you, or do you just want to get started?
Let's just go right into it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, he's got news.
We got news, a little bit of news anyway. So, some of you may have heard a couple weeks ago, I mentioned Uncarrier 10, which is where T-Mobile announced a bunch of new plans, basically doubling your data, allowing you to binge on, is what they're calling it, where you can watch services like Netflix and HBO Go and it not count against your data. Well, Sprint came back, and basically everything T-Mobile is doing as far as plan cost, they're doing 50% of that. So if your T-Mobile plan costs $80, you can get the same plan on Sprint for $40. If your T-Mobile plan costs $120, same plan on Sprint costs $120. So if you care about what's going on here in the mobile industry, you would know that this is very exciting for all customers, whether you have Verizon, AT&T, whatever, because naturally if Team Magenta and Team Yellow have their duke it out in the public sphere about cost and data, it can only be good for the customers, because as people start saying, well, I might not get the same coverage, but I'll get better plan, it's going to come down to a point where what's more important, can you, use your phone in the subway, or you pay $100 less a month? Some people may say, I just want to use my phone in the subway and save $100. We'll see. So I wanted to pass that news along. Also, in some quick Apple news, there's been leaked Apple support app that's going to save your trip to the Genius Store. If you don't know, Apple is known for its amazing customer support, and now they're going to make it so that way you can just put things out on your Apple Store app, and they can go there, not only schedule you like you can already do, but also provide support right away. So they're actually making their customer support even more efficient than it already is. Last little piece of Apple news, some of you may know, some of you may care. Surprisingly, I really don't. The iPad Pro came out recently, and though it's not selling as much as people thought it might sell, one piece of the iPad Pro that is selling is the Apple Pencil. The thing that people try to mock and just call it a stylus, but damn near every review has said it's way more than that, and it's probably the best stylus I've ever used. It's now completely facing a supply crunch, and if you want one that bad, you can get them upward to $500 on eBay. So there you go. A $99 Apple Pencil is now going as high as $500 because Apple can't seem to make them fast enough. Which is ironic because the Pro itself isn't selling that well, but the Pencil is somehow outselling the Pro.
How?
You can only use
how does that work? That's just. I mean. I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time understanding that.
I never really try to understand Apple's supply process, and it doesn't really matter. I'm always concerned about who are these people that are spending 3, 4, 5 times as much for Apple products just to have it rather than just wait. You see it. You don't see it as much with the iPhone. Apple thankfully makes a lot, but there were days where Apple iPhones would come out and go as much as 2 or 3 times as much on eBay. So And speaking of things that have been selling out and making a lot of money, Patti LaBelle apparently
$2 million.
Apparently, has that sweet potato pie must make you see the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything else. It has been flying off the shelves of Walmart. It is sold out. They too are on eBay. First off, if you're buying food on eBay, I think you got a problem. But people are paying several $100s for these sweet potato pies because they are sold out everywhere. Now, the interesting tidbit was a lot of people did not know about these pies until the famous YouTube video that was put out there by a guy named James Wright, where he eats the pie, he's dancing, and it's so funny that everybody said, I got to see about this pie. Well, TMZ, you know TMZ, they're always great for this type of stuff. They happened to corner Miss Patti and asked her about it, and she threw a little shade at him, talking about, I was selling out of pies before that video. Now, I love me some Patti LaBelle. But we gotta tell the truth here, people. Y'all know damn well y'all ain't know nothing about that pie until that YouTube video came out.
Patti, send that man a check. Send that man a check for a few $1,000.
Exactly, Patti. Come on now. You know daggone well until we started seeing that in our Facebook timelines and on Twitter and stuff. I know the first thing I did, I said, Patti LaBelle makes a pie? I mean, I knew she can cook. She's done cooking stuff in the past, but I didn't know she had something out there.
No idea.
George Foreman, you need to go find James Wright. You ain't sold a grill in like 15 years.
The return of the former grill.
Listen, every college student in America got a Foreman grill. That's like a rites of passage when you get to college. You get a mini fridge and a Foreman grill.
You know, hey, I'm just saying, James Wright, if you're listening, which you probably are not, but if you ever hear about this from someone else, you might want to look into maybe doing a review segment or something on YouTube. Maybe make a little change. You know, the way this industry works, if you can make Patti sell those pies, you are already a marketing professional.
That you are.
Get you an agent. You just made Patti LaBelle millions of dollars. Why can't you do it for Coke, Pepsi, or any other junk we shouldn't be eating or drinking? Including those pies. I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. If any pie that can sit on the shelf in the store for several days or even longer, and they can sell it to you on eBay, it doesn't have stuff in it that you should be. If you don't believe me, go to your great aunt or your grandma's house for Thanksgiving. If the sweet potato pie survive, I guarantee you can't eat that pie on Monday if it was made Wednesday night. I guarantee you.
No preservatives. No preservatives.
I mean, people never think about that. If you could buy a pie at a store that's been out there for like a week, and it still be good, you know.
Dude, I'm with you. I understand.
And there will be sweet potato pie in the Sith household. I don't actually like it, surprisingly, but I'm being forced to make it. Moving right along. Volkswagen is the gift that keeps on giving. So, as we all know, they keep getting trouble for this emission scandal. And then, of course, they insulted every Volkswagen and Audi customer by offering a $500 gift card and an additional $500 just to use at the dealership, so you could buy like hats and stuff like that, I guess. So now, because this investigation is still ongoing, Volkswagen now admits that every Volkswagen and Audi that is a diesel that has come out since 2009 has this problem.
Dang.
That's not new.
That is new. Before, they were saying that it was only the 2.0 TDI engine, which is only in the Jetta, Passat, and I believe the A3. Now, and they was originally saying it's all 2011 and up, this latest generation of Jetta and Audis. So now they're going back to 2009 and including every diesel engine. So that includes the 3.0 diesel TDI that's also in the A6 and other models like the Q5 and Q5RS and things of that nature. So yeah, this is new. It's increased by a couple years, and it's included more engines. Yeah. So speaking with King Face earlier in the week about this subject, I kind of feel like Audi might have to sell a couple of car brands when this is all said and done. I'm thinking Lamborghini, Porsche, and Bentley might be up for sale in the near future because
yeah, it's gonna be massive.
There's already senators in the U.S. Congress that are saying that the only way to dig themselves out of here, they're gonna have to pay us out completely pay off our vehicles and give us some damages money.
That's what I want.
And if they're already saying that in the Senate, they're saying it for one or two reasons. Either some other lobbyist, the anti-diesel lobbyist, aka the oil industry, is paying them a lot, or they're wanting Audi and Volkswagen to pay them. So one of the two, the customers might win, and I'm hoping I win. Speaking of recalls, Tesla, one of the great companies that, you know, people who wish they could afford it would drive. Every Tesla Model S has been recalled. So that's about 90,000 cars.
Wow.
Have been recalled by Tesla because there was a seatbelt incident in Europe. So the good thing about a recall, as most of you do know if you've had recalls on your vehicles, it's mainly you go to the dealership, they fix whatever the offending piece is, and then after sitting in the waiting room, depending on your dealership, for like 9 hours, you finally get to go home after eating their stale chips and the little pieces of candy they keep in the bowl. So yeah, if you are so blessed to be able to afford a Tesla, make sure you go get that seatbelt fixed before you go through a window. It's some funny news. Facebook had an incident of with a guy's identity. They shut down his page because they thought his name was offensive and it was fake. So an Australian guy name is Fook Dat Beach. And
I actually saw that.
Let's see. No, I haven't heard it. Let's see.
It's that, and I'm personally pronouncing it differently than what it sounds like.
Oh.
Yeah. It's his name is spelled Phuc. Middle name is Dat, D-A-T. Last name is B-I-C-H. So naturally, people were saying it, you know, F, Dat, add the T to his last name.
So is that his real name?
That's his real name. But Facebook didn't believe it, so of course they banned his page.
Of course.
He had to go a couple of rounds with Facebook showing identification or whatever, and he has been restored. So it looks like, even though he's in Australia, I hear he's going to get his American citizenship soon, and him and D's nuts are going to be running for president this year. So we're going to have, you know, President D's nuts and Vice President Fook that beach.
Oh my God.
And that's a ticket, you know, that's change you can believe in right there. And gaming news.
So no. So hopefully the Secretary of State will be Meta World Peace. I'm just saying.
I gotta ask a question.
And the Speaker of the House is that Prince symbol. You know, this is a symbol.
I gotta ask y'all a question real quick, and this is directed at Geekonius, and this is a geopolitical question. It's a tech question, really. All right, so
it's one of them tricky questions. You're gonna make me get serious by luring me in with a tech part.
not really. This is a curiosity, really. So one of the main recruiting tools that the quote-unquote terrorists use is Facebook, Twitter, like social media.
Not recently.
So if they flag a guy, you know, for his name, what is the difficulty in shutting down the Facebook and Twitter accounts for the terrorists?
Well, I do not claim to have read every company's policy because most people, I myself included, when you sign up and they give you that 2-page
Don't
thing,
nobody read that.
I just hit the checkbox. But I imagine the reason why they can't do that is because a lot of these barbarians is what I call them. They have names that non-barbarian people have. So you can't just.
But even as far as content, though, they can't show.
But even content, we still have freedom of speech. So even I'll give you an example. If I was so crazy as to change my profile pic to a ISO flag, if you will, that in of itself doesn't mean anything. And I've said some pretty militant things on my Twitter feed that some could interpret as radical. If you just go around shutting down.
But the dark side of the force, maybe that's about it.
I'll leave that alone. But the dark side is the black side. Come on over, people. Come on over.
I'll never join you.
but I don't know. You would think that, but see, where does it end? That's the issue. You have that slippery slope. You can't just go around disabling accounts. So they do stupid stuff. Like I tried to change my name on Facebook to Darth Geekonius, and they were filling the Geekonius part. They were like, "Yeah, we know what Darth is. Try again. You don't own that property." So I said, "What about Sith?" And they're like, "No, buddy, you ain't getting that either." So certain names, and obviously they're not gonna let you do it. Well, but real quick, Bob, sorry, but Facebook also had the issue. There were breast cancer survivors who were showing their pictures of their,
mastectomy?
Yeah, and they were banning that. They were banning breastfeeding mothers. So there's so much nuance and,
Does freedom of speech, and this is another technical question, does freedom of speech necessarily apply to a company like Facebook as opposed to in the public sphere? Because in the public sphere, freedom of speech definitely exists, but you can censor employees.
No, technically, Facebook and Twitter can do whatever the hell they want, but it's not good for business if you start silencing your users.
Right.
That's what it boils down to. If that's where you started getting those alternate browsers and stuff that you start getting different services that say we won't do that. So rather than lose subscribers by being heavy-handed, it's anything goes, which is why in my Twitter feed I'm always getting these sexual gifs or gifs for the.
I mean, you complaining? That's a little spice for your day.
Yes. GIF is what you get your peanut butter from.
Well,
GIF.
No, it's actually that's some technical trivia. It is actually GIF. It is, believe it or not. We've been saying GIF for like decades, but it was originally GIF. But anyway, I am complaining because sometimes it's not my thing.
Okay, so
too many pale people sometimes.
No, just understand. Like you opened yourself up for a great joke, and
I know, and that's why Rob's like.
No. I'm always criticized for going there. Just mark your calendar, date and time. I'll let you live.
Yeah, but on that same note, but no, I was looking at you like because I'm pretty much like you. That in that is I don't expect that to show up on my TL, and it's definitely not what I'm into. So it's a little bit like, dang, how'd this get here? But it is what it is.
Big Baba Rob.
Yes.
Well, you got a starting 5 and a 6 man in your house. You you into it.
Hey. Well, first off, we have different not into it. I don't think he wants to see that when he's looking for games and stuff. Me. I have an issue with I have an issue with I don't like what I see content sometimes. Like, I'm not, like the Native Americans would say, I'm not really into the pale thing too much. An overabundance of, people that's red and blue and whatever, even if it's just
man, you like Twilix and Tangerines. You Wookiees.
Not Wookiees. Not
Little
Wookiees.
Ewoks.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Maybe a couple of Celestians.
I don't want to see that.
Oh man. So on the rest of the show tonight,
somebody call Vivid. Somebody call Vivid. we got a pitch. But no, last news. Speaking of, it's kind of ironic given how we started the show. Rob, you will not believe this. You will not believe this. Geek.com is reporting that 15% of Fallout 4 players haven't even left the vault.
but I can't figure out how it works. How is that possible? I saw that article and I scratched my head. I'm like, how do you not? I mean, you have to leave the vault. I guess when I read the article, I guess they meant that they played that portion and got caught up in other stuff. Because I mean, I was out of the vault in like 5 to 7 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. That part of the Fallout story isn't.
It was so short.
I'm thinking maybe they just bought the game, started, and for whatever reason didn't play it. But
That's
15% of all the millions of people that bought that game is huge.
That is huge. Yeah,
that's a significant population.
Yeah, it was. What was it? 1.8 million copies sold. How many copies sold was it? Do you remember?
I think they're well into 4 million that week.
Yeah, I remember seeing the article a while back, like 1.8. So I mean, and man, if you think about that, you figure that at least on the average, not including discounts through different retailers, you figure every game sold for at least $50, and you still haven't even, and still most people haven't even bought the season pass yet. And season pass is another, $20 to $30. So man, you think about how much money Bethesda just raked in like 1 month. It's ridiculous.
That's why I want to make a game. I wish I had a AAA studio to help me put my vision out there. I want to do like a vampire game, a real legit open world. You got to survive as a vampire. There was a game about a decade ago called Bloodlines: The Masquerade. The technology wasn't there, but the concept and the story was really good. I think we need something like that, personally. Or at least do a revision of Ultra Beast for us old school Sega people.
Sega.
But Sega. That is all I have for Sif News. So.
Well, that's enough. That's almost the show, homie. That's just.
Dang, we did. We did, didn't we?
Yeah, that's just about the show. So all right.
Well, thank y'all for coming out.
God bless. Peace. We'll see y'all next week. Cause I got screws to pedal, I got screws.
You can take a few minutes from Fallout.
All right. I'll take a few minutes from Fallout. So just real quick, let's talk about some of the hotness now. I haven't seen it yet. Obviously, my attention has been elsewhere. But both of you guys have caught pieces of Jessica Jones, and that's just been the hotness. We saw it. We saw the trailer. We knew that this was going to be something new and special. We knew that after what we saw with Daredevil, we knew that Jessica Jones was going to bring the fire. Definitely looking at that trailer. So I'll start with Potbelly Samurai. What are some of your takeaways on your first impressions with Jessica Jones?
Honestly, I'm only one episode in. I literally got back in town, watched the first episode, came on the show. Like, that was my progression of events. But based on that first episode, it's off to an exceptional start. The subject matter is incredible. The characters, the way they pull in from the comic book canon, all the way down to like little, lesser known aspects like Trish Walker. Like, that's all straight, coming, from. Why are you hushing me?
Don't spoil it, dude.
I'm not spoiling. I just put a name out there.
Okay.
I just put a name out there.
But you targeted her, so people are gonna do the Google thing. So.
I'm not. Keep rolling. I'm not. I'm still gonna go back and watch it. I have no idea who that was, who you just said. I'm not gonna Google it. So keep it on.
They basically, decided to go with a very, very dark version of Jessica Jones. They're not pulling no punches.
Not a single punch.
They're doing a Kilgrave, storyline for everyone who's familiar with that. And I mean, they're dealing with issues from rape to PTSD. Like, it's like a lot of like heavy, gritty content, and it's very, very well executed. Like, I'm very much excited to get through the rest of the season. I'm probably not going to be able to do it tomorrow because I have work, but as soon as I get a free minute, I'm gonna be Netflixed up.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to touch it at least until Thursday. I can't put Fallout down. I really wish I could. It's just awful. Maybe yeah.
There's some food going on Thursday in the Sith household. You're more than welcome to come get a plate.
Can I bring my rig again?
Yes, sir.
No, not doing that. I'm just kidding. All right, I'll definitely keep that. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Cheese.
I can't do aged cheese anymore. Something has changed. Yeah, something has changed in my physiology, and now whenever I eat aged cheese, I get migraines.
Damn, black people are not lactose intolerant.
Oh no! I'm good with mozzarella.
I'm telling you, there's something with that. I'm telling you, our lack of immunity to cow's milk.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's most people though.
No, actually, black people genetically we have an issue, and it shows up in most black people after the age of 25. If it doesn't hit you before 25.
Dude, I've been lactose intolerant since the beginning.
Yeah, but literally most black people, like, we get sickle cell. I mean, it's possible for other races to get it, but we're the ones who there's an issue in our genetic code.
It's like Tay-Sachs with Eastern Europeans and Eastern European Jews.
Yeah, so no, that's real talk. If you are younger than 25 and you have not had any issues with dairy, stand by.
Yeah, and that's the amazing part, is that I had to hit 40 for stuff to go awry. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, you know me and my affinity for cheddar and Gouda. I mean, I have a serious thing for smoked Gouda and sharp cheddar.
Yo, hold on. Why when he said that, the first thing that came to my mind was that joint smoked Buddha.
Not Buddha, Gouda. But yeah, man, it's just out of nowhere. And once I eliminated all aged cheeses, the migraines have gone. I haven't had one since. Crazy damn thing.
It hit me. It hit me in my late 20s. I can still eat all kinds of dairy, except now I'm more like a gremlin. I can't eat it. I can't eat it after a certain time. For whatever reason, it's like if I eat anything north of like 10 p.m., you need to go get the extra paint out because the walls are going to be dripping and everything. It's going
Okay.
It's going to be like Amityville Horror. Get out.
Get out.
Get out. Ever since I was a kid, like, as much as I love ice cream, every time I throw it, I know I'm going to pay the price.
Pay the piper.
Basically, severe stomach cramps and monster gas, like the kind of gas that'll clear out a whole house. Like, this is the ultimate fumigation move.
A Call of Duty situation.
like pretty much.
Call of Duty.
I would know. It's so bad that, like, back in the days when I was actually dating, like, I knew what exactly not to eat if I wanted to actually take that date to another level.
Right. And then you knew exactly what to eat to make sure a relationship ended.
Just like, we're not getting a cheesecake for dessert if I'm expecting to get dessert.
See, like I said, I can have that cheesecake as long as it's before 10 p.m.
You know what? All this, look, I don't have any of those problems. I love my cheese. I did yogurt. I didn't do a lot of ice cream. But what I did know is the only thing that I noticed that it just too much mucus in my chest. And it would show up when I worked out. And work out, for some reason, it would start to break up. And that was that just sucked. But yeah, I didn't, that's the only thing. And I mean, I've been staying away from dairy for as much, but
You're scaring the hell out of me right now. Let me keep it real. You know, I'm literally sitting here looking at the math between our age differences, and I'm saying to myself, this can happen to you any day now. It's like one of those after school specials, like, you know.
This could be you, children.
I'm afraid that I'm gonna take a bite of macaroni one day and be like, boom, 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 boom. No! No! It's 2:00 in the afternoon.
Well, that's the only weird thing that's happened so far. So we'll see. So let's
Jessica
get
Jones,
Jessica Jones, if you don't mind, and hopefully she doesn't have terrible flatulence. But
she got a lot of other issues. Cheese would be better in her situation, but so I did finish this first season in a nice amount of time because I actually stayed up to like 3 a.m. For it to be released, and then I fell asleep on the first 10 minutes. but I did finish it this weekend. I wrote an article on our website. I think the show
and the website is www.theblackgeeks.com, right?
Yes, that's right. That is correct.
Yeah.
www.theblackgeeks.com. Or just drop the www. Don't need that anymore.
True. You can just go straight through.
Yeah. So the show was amazing. If you've seen Daredevil and you remember how great Daredevil was, this may be a controversial statement, but I've noticed in my little Twitter rounds today that most people agree with me that Jessica Jones is the better show, but mainly on a technicality. Daredevil had to accomplish a lot of things for Marvel. They had to get him out the shadow of that Ben Affleck tragedy. They also had the challenge of taking, a B/C level character and putting a great story behind him on an experimental Netflix. And they accomplished that mission by making a gritty, compelling show that basically raised the bar and set the standard for all superhero TV shows. The only thing that even comes remotely close is Gotham, and they're handcuffed by the fact that they're on network television.
But it's still, man.
It just is gritty. And I'm telling you,
my God,
Gotham could have been on a Netflix or HBO. It would be neck to neck with Daredevil because they get into some crazy stuff that you even wonder how far they're pushing the envelope with the censors. That said, where Daredevil was more action oriented, Jessica Jones is more plot and story driven. After watching the whole series, there's not the same amount of action, not even close. But the bars that the hurdles she had to leap, that's what I mean by technical category. Not only did they have to take maybe a CD level character and make it mainstream, they had to also pull off their first woman-led TV show as well. In movie, because we still don't have Captain Marvel, and there's a lot of complaints about how they do Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow as more of a tertiary character, and in Age of Ultron the love interest of Bruce Banner somehow,
which made no sense.
It made no sense, and they just threw it they just threw it at us too, so there was no build up. And of course on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they do a little bit better with their female characters. Agent May is just freaking awesome. Daisy is all right. Everybody kind of likes Bobby Mockingbird, and of course Fitz and Simmons. I mean, they're awesome. But that being said, this was their chance to actually lead a show with a strong female lead, not fall into any other tropes that you expect with these female shows by watering it down. In fact, they raised the bar on the subject matter. They get into some gritty, complex, adult storylines. They tackle issues that are highly debated in the American public right now, from lesbian characters going through a divorce to interracial things going on, hookups. They even cover abortion in this season. They go through PTSD. And the character herself, she's who she is. She's not in no box of what's feminine, what's masculine. She's just who she is. She does what she wants, and she's a strong character that's also very vulnerable. So they did some really complex things, and that's why I think Jessica Jones is the better show. Daredevil accomplished a lot, but it was still a straightforward guy gets powers, kicks a lot of butt. and everything else is the story. The story was amazing. But here you had to, you know, I mean, just covering PTSD correctly is a difficult challenge for any writer. And not only do they deal with PTSD with the main character, they go through it ongoing throughout the series with multiple characters, mainly because of the villain. And it's amazing execution. And I know people that I've got to watch this show this weekend who know nothing about the character, who do not read comic books at all, and are loving this show. So that's my review. If you have not seen Jessica Jones, you owe it to yourself. I told everybody Friday you owe it to yourself to at least watch 5 episodes. That might be insane, but at least by Wednesday of this week, prior to turkey and whatever else you're eating, you should maybe knock out at least 1 or 2. I seriously doubt if you watch 3 straight, you're gonna stop. But some people can do that. Other people are just like the hell with sleep. So that's all I got for Jessica Jones. I just, if you read my article, it's a long ramble. I couldn't even decide where the hell I wanted to go with that article because it was just so much I wanted to say without, telling stuff. And typical Marvel, they also got some tongue-in-cheek Easter eggs. They allude to other stories and other characters. Just very amazing. They even reference the Avengers and real cool. Great show.
I know that we didn't want to really get deep into the topic, but it's something you mentioned in there that I caught in the Supergirl pilot. I thought it was really interesting, and like how they completely overdid it with the number of times they mentioned Superman either directly or indirectly. It's just like he's not in the show, and granted, yes, you understand he's his cousin. I was just watching the pilot, like, every time you turned around, there was somebody referencing him in some way, shape, or form. Other shows haven't quite been that heavy on like mentioning of the other content. I think the only other thing I could compare it to was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but thing is that timeline was actually lining up with the movie timeline, so the references. It made sense.
But that's one of the problems with Supergirl's character.
I was about to go there.
Yes.
Her character is so tied to Superman. Like, you're going to get that, unfortunately, by default. Like, Supergirl in the show, and I didn't really want to get into this, but, like, she lacks agency. Like, and when you watch the show, especially, like, the last episode with Livewire starts to like really criticize Supergirl a lot, and she's like, I just can't believe this, adorkable, image that she had. And like when she said that, I was like, yeah, that's kind of how I see her. Like, she's freaking adorkably annoying, like, because she lacks any like real presence. I think DC has done, the character wasn't all that great to begin with, but they really could have done a lot more with it. Like, they could have taken like a combination of Supergirl from Superman the Animated Series versus Supergirl, Laura Vanderhoof's Supergirl from Smallville, and done a mashup, and I think they would have come up with a much better character representation and a better story. Like, it just, not really feeling it.
Well, my thing is, and I would really love to hear a female perspective on this, is DC's number one problem, I think, is their main Justice League characters are from an age where everything was cheeky, truth, justice, and the American way, and so that doesn't translate to screen well unless it's cheeky. The only reason why Batman and like Arrow work is because those are darker, grittier characters. But when you start getting into the realm of the Kryptonians and the Amazonians and the Flash and Green Lantern, it can start getting a little cheesy.
But here's the interesting thing, though, and I agree with you on that, but if they had taken Supergirl and made her younger, like, again, the Supergirl from Superman the Animated Series, where she's a teenager, she's dealing with high school stuff, plus being a superhero, plus living on a farm and doing all these other things, I think it would have made for a much better show, a much more genuine show. So either go that route or go a lot darker, like they did with Smallville. But the fact that you have her in the middle and she's wandering around trying to figure out who she is, even though she got here as a teenager, basically as a preteen. She was like 12 or 13 or whatever, and then like she's still trying to figure this out, and she's like one of the most powerful beings on the planet. It just doesn't make any sense. That level of insecurity, that oh, I don't know, and the meekness, like it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, they're still doing that whole thing, and it still goes back to the character. Like everything she does is a parallel of Superman. I mean, she works in the news agency, and it's not the Daily Planet; it's something else. She's dressing up as Kara when she's. I mean, it's too much of the same thing, and she don't have the same villains. But then again, I don't think Superman really has the villain, because again, this is kind of
until he met like Doomsday.
So this is like, a little off topic, but I went back and forth with some people about The Walking Dead tonight. By the way, Glenn is alive. Surprise, surprise. And I was talking about the next big villain that's coming, Negan. And someone asked me, what's the fascination with these villains? And, aren't we supposed to be rooting for the heroes? And I said, well, the villains are what help shape the story to give you, and if your villains aren't that good, the characters are going to suffer. And The Walking Dead is, as an example, its best moments was when they had the governor looming over their situation, or when they were at Terminus and they had the cannibals looming on the situation. Right now, they're not dealing with much, but I'm glad, based on tonight's episode, they fast forwarded in the comics a little bit. They skipped about 5 issues, and next week we're going to get somebody might put their eye out. But they got, and so you look at, going back to Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I mean, that Kingpin, that was a masterful portrayal of not only a villain, but how you should do a villain, in the sense that you can put someone, almost like how you have the reluctant hero stories. Kingpin was almost like the reluctant villain, in a way. When you can sympathize with the villain, I think you've kind of gone where you transcend just putting the threat in a box. And they do a lot of that in Jessica Jones too. There comes a point where it's like, oh, the bad guy's over there, and then you get the guy behind the curtain, and you start saying to yourself, well, and even, and I'm not going to spoil it, but that's what I'm saying. And Supergirl, just like Superman, and DC is struggling with that in Arrow and the Flash as well, having to come up with these. I mean, come on! I hate to bash DC. I know I do that sometimes. I do like some DC characters, but come on, a gorilla.
Grodd is the truth.
But some things work better in a comic book than they do on a TV show. And therein lies the problem. And like the Flash problem with these multiple speedsters and alternate timelines, all this stuff DC falls into. Marvel don't have an issue with, because their characters have always been more grounded for the most part. And they've always pulled from real life to help shape their stories. Not that they haven't done goofy, stupid stuff, and they haven't retconned a lot too. But at the same time, you could get away with a Jessica Jones. And DC has characters like that. But when they do it, it don't work out, like Constantine.
Constantine was a good show.
People loved the show that watched it, but they could not draw the audience.
That was a great show. And I just want to piggyback on that for a second. And when you think about the best superheroes, the most developed stories, the greatest story arcs, it's the villains. The villains are what define the hero. Without a really good villain that pushes the hero to actually be a hero, like that's just a person running around with powers like this.
What would the X-Men be without Magneto?
Right.
Basically.
I mean, Sinister and Apocalypse are good, but let's be honest, Magneto is what really got a lot of people into X-Men, because he's a very complex counter to Professor X. Sometimes you're rooting for him, sometimes you're like, smack him in the face. You know,
You need that. I mean, look at Superman. Superman did not really become a really interesting character
until he died.
until he ran up against two villains, until he got his ass whooped by Doomsday, until he got throttled by Apocalypse. That's what I'm not Apocalypse, Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
And he got throttled by Darkseid. Like that's when he became like a really interesting character. And Face will probably argue with me if he was here because he basically hates Superman. But
he hates Superman with a passion.
with a passion.
So he has nothing nice to say about Supergirl. I can guarantee you that.
But but if you look at it, even the comic books, they got more interesting around that time. You got into like the Death of Superman joint. That was a hot comic.
That was huge. It was really good. But that's again. So going back to the topic, this is where DC's going to struggle, especially with Wonder Woman. You know, a lot of people already don't like the casting, and now they're going to have to create this story. And I think they should have went full Roman mythology and made her a legit Xena the Warrior Princess type character. But you know, there's going to be an element of cheekiness in it, and that cheekiness I think waters down. Again, I'd rather have a woman talk about this because I think, you know, having a daughter outside of the parental advisories, of course, the themes in Jessica Jones, I'd much rather expose to my daughter than the themes that are in Supergirl.
So true.
And what I mean by that, even though I'm telling you right now, Jessica Jones is raunchy as hell. That show really should be on HBO like 2:00 in the morning.
It ain't that bad.
You ain't seen it all yet. But outside of that stuff, where, you know, big black men do stuff, outside of that,
just
the theme
that's in the comic book. They
of course, yeah, that's not even really a spoiler. That
they married in the comics.
They married and have babies and stuff. But the themes that Jessica Jones could just be herself, and they have various different types of women in Jessica Jones, which is really interesting. You have the lawyer, as I'm going to always call her Trinity, because every time I look at her, I see Trinity from the Matrix.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, Carrie Ann Moss. You have her and her.
She looks good for her age.
Yeah, I don't know how old she is. You look at her, you know.
48.
She's 48?
Yeah.
That's decent for her age, then. I've seen some. I look.
No, she looks good for her age.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet, but Cicely Tyson is 90 and probably look better than that.
Yeah, but Cicely, they don't make him like Cicely Tyson no more.
Yeah, that's true. They broke the mold.
She's been a beautiful woman her entire life.
That's true. But anyway, I don't know how we do that. But the thing is, they have different types of women. So you have her dealing with her relationship issues as a strong, powerful, on the top of her game lawyer, but she has vulnerabilities going through this divorce and her mistress or whatever. You have Jessica Jones dealing with her personal internal struggles, balancing that versus her lifestyle and things that she wants. Just the whole hooking up with a guy, you don't see that on television this way, where she was the dominant one, where she's just like, I know what I want. You know, he questioned her, are you flirting with me? And she was like, yeah. A lot of TV shows always got the damsel in distress and blushing and showing weakness, which is Supergirl's major criticism to me. She's always bumbly and stuff. You're a Kryptonian.
She's adorable.
You could literally hit somebody and knock them down the block, probably further.
Not down a block. Knock them into another freaking zip code.
You probably knock them to the moon, literally.
She has all of Superman's powers.
You know? But she's bumbling around like, oh God, I don't know. Can I do this? Somebody help me. You know, where's my cousin? What would he do?
She lacks agency. Like, she has zero confidence. Like, that's not the kind of role model you want to present to young women.
And, you know, and then they try to play it off by having her do those girl power moments where, see, yeah, I could do it if I just believe in myself. It's like a G.I. Joe, and knowing is half the battle. It's that cheeky thing that I think really hurts. What I don't want to get to say what women need, but women have been asking for. You know, you can do that with male characters. You don't. you see male characters don't ever go through that. Why can't you just have a show where she's the top dog? And they did that with Jessica Jones. She's the alpha. And you know, and being the alpha doesn't mean you don't have vulnerabilities, because she has plenty. So, you know, I think that was my major comparison between the two, and why I think Jessica Jones is just a phenomenal show. But that's all I have on the subject. We have anything else for the show, Rob?
No, we're gonna. I mean, there's plenty of stuff we have for the show, but we're gonna wrap. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get back. I know we got what we got stuff. Unless Potbelly is something that he just wants to really bring up for the night.
Well, since you asked,
I asked.
I've been holding this for a little while.
Go ahead, let it go, brother.
Nah, I'm just joking.
Let it go.
No. Not on this damn show. It's not on this damn show. Don't you even.
You just mad because you don't want to get that stuck in your
this
head.
damn show. I will end it if you start.
Okay.
I don't care if we're in the middle of the show. You start with that mess. Oh.
Okay.
I will say this though. Like,
let me do a quick update. To our listeners, we have begun to do mini podcasts, like, you know, little 30-minute shows around various topics we will never, ever get to cover. Today we did our first Black Geeks on Books podcast, myself and King Face. We're going to be doing that Sunday mornings on Blog Talk Radio. Today we discussed Lost Stars, a Star Wars novel. And we also picked our book of the month for December, which is The Final Empire Mistborn Trilogy, Book 1. So what we will be doing is each week we'll be discussing a different book that we've read, but the first podcast of each month we'll be discussing the book of the month from the month prior. Also got a couple of other shows that we're hoping to do this week. We haven't officially put them out, but we're doing a show called Superhero Chat, where we're going to be talking about all these superhero TV shows and themes, and is some comics as well. So Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Flash, Jessica Jones, that type of stuff. And we're also going to be doing All Things Dead podcast, where we'll be talking about the Walking Dead comic and novels, as well as the TV show Z Nation and other series that have to do with dead things. So look forward to that on Twitter. We'll be putting those out there with the show times. And of course, you can catch us on the archive as well.
One question. With this being Thanksgiving week, are we taking a break for the Thanksgiving weekend, or will we be podcasting, fellas?
Well, Thanksgiving's on Thursday.
I'm just saying, people go out of town. People got family coming into town. Like, that's.
People are going to be tryptophan high.
Take it all out into consideration. I'm just asking.
Just keep it real. You're going to have an empty sweet potato pie plate sitting here full of turkey and stuff in it. Like, I don't want to do nothing.
Oh, I'm about to live up to my namesake and moniker. Thanksgiving.
Look,
walking around looking like Fat Albert, rubbing my belly.
I legitimately, for the last month, been dieting, exercising, lost 11 pounds. And I am taking
Hey, matter of fact, I think I found those. I got them. Don't worry about it. I got them.
I'm taking a Thanksgiving break. But I'll return after Thanksgiving because I plan to do some stuff. I plan at least 10K, like Z Nation. But I'm going to get all 10K of my calories. So that's all I wanted. I just wanted to announce those shows, and we may have some more in the future depending on topic. But stay tuned for that.
So to answer your question, Potbelly, I think probably it's good to give folks if they are planning to be out and about.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Yeah, we can definitely take a break. Fall out, not a problem. I think we can do that.
Look, take a break and fall out. You gotta keep the same sentence.
I will say this though, for the next show that we have, I will be probably doing a product review for my new lightsaber, which has been shipped.
All right. Yay.
We will also be discussing the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead, which is next week as well. That is very crucial for our comic book readers out there. Read issue 83. I am putting money on that's the issue they're going to do. You heard it here first. 5 characters at least from this season are going to die, and 1 is going to get injured really bad. That's my prediction. So if you're nervous, just get.
There, Cyclops.
Get your Kleenex ready.
One Cyclops is a hint for all those Walking Dead fans out there. You're supposed to let that ride. That's an Easter egg.
When you're that subtle, you're supposed to let it ride. Not supposed to explain that. Yeah, I just gave y'all a major hint.
Rob looked a little bit lost. I did that for his benefit.
No, I thought it was just another pet name.
You'll put your eye out, son.
You have so many names for him, dude. I was like, I guess that's another one. Cyclops. I was like, okay.
Rob, I'm just gonna let that go because that just sounded wrong on so many levels.
That could go to the wrong place.
Damn.
Let's go ahead.
Okay, you know what? I wasn't even going down that rabbit hole, but it is what it is. Okay. The one thing I did want to say, I'm not getting into anything, is the one thing I wanted after you just rattled off all these great television shows, and my topic for tonight that I brought was geek peer pressure and how I'm having none of it, and screw all these shows. I'll watch what I watch when I watch them, but it's so funny, the pressure between Twitter and then the show. It's like I feel the pressure to watch them, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do, and if I get around to watching it, I get around to watching it. And as much as I know I want to talk about it on the show, I'm just so busy doing other stuff that when I have my free time, I want to do what I want to do. But anyway.
Hence smithing and playing Fallout.
Crafting. Yeah, man.
That's why we're doing the other podcast too.
Steel and wood, 18 bottle caps. I'm just saying.
There's some screws in there too, and you might have a few loose.
No, there's no screws. Steel and wood. Steel and wood. See, I'm saying this is 2 steel, 1 wood right here.
And steel and wood is important.
18. Oh, very important. Although them screws though, I'm just saying them screws though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Screws and steel and wood.
Screw loose is more like it.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. To my geek brethren, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I definitely want to thank Armchair Commentary for stopping by. I know that she had some technical difficulties, but she managed to make it onto the show. And for everyone else that's watched and retweeted, thanks. Make sure you go to www.theblackgeeks.com. Check it out. We're also on Facebook at The Black Geeks. Of course, you got to follow the Twitter feed because that's the only way you're going to know when to watch the shows and where to watch the shows. Don't forget that if there's something you want to rewatch later, it's on YouTube. You can always find it on YouTube. It's just a perpetual archive. So we're all over the place, and Tumblr as well. So we're at The Black Geeks just in so many different places. Make sure you follow. Make sure you share. Make sure send us some love. Yes, clap it up. Yes, yes.
Sharing is caring.
Caring is sharing, and sharing is caring.
And if you're not sharing, you don't care.
Yeah, you don't give a good goddamn. So thanks everybody, and we will be back in at least 2 weeks, unless Geekonius plans to do any more book or hero shows in between that point. Otherwise, the TBG podcast will be back in 2 weeks, so stay tuned. If you miss us, hey, shoot us a tweet. We will respond to you, most likely, and we'll say hi. We may not, do another show for 2 weeks, but, we'll say hi anyway. So thanks, guys. Enjoy. Lots of good games coming out. Lots of great shows out right now. Catch up, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Peace.